You've decided to take AP seminar, and which it's going to be a hell of a ride if you don't keep up with your assignments, your presentations, and your due dates. It's going to suck, and you're going to wish you were dead. And honestly, it may sound like I'm trying to dissuade you, but I'm just letting you know beforehand. Yeah, you're already in the class, but don't quit. You got it. Just, you have to keep ahead of yourself and make sure you keep yourself in check. So, with AP Seminar, we have 5 big ideas that we're going to go through. So, with big idea 1, you're going to want to go through and find a topic with your group mates that you all collectively find interesting. If you don't all find it interesting, then it's going to suck in the long run when you're sitting there with a week left and you realize that you don't want to sit down and you don't want to research. And of course, if you're procrastinating, which I just told you not to do. But it's going to suck. So, if this topic doesn't have importance, it's also going to blow. Because if you want it to, because it's got to be important. If it's not important, then what are you doing? You're just wasting your time, really. So, it's also great to avoid, rather recent issues, as there may not be very much research on these topics that you can do. But if you go for a, later issue, then it'll help you a little bit. But unless you're really dedicated to the topic and you feel really confident in yourself, go for it. I'm not going to try to stop you. Well, of course I can't. I'm not here anymore. But, so then, you pick a topic. So now that you pick the topic to start your research, you want to start, a lens map. These lens maps will help you go through and decide who does what lens and what perspective you have in each lens, which I'll talk to you about later. But so now that you're starting to research, you want to find research info from reliable sources, and the authors of these reliable sources, you got to find the background of them, because anyone can seem like they know what they're talking about, but the moment that their background doesn't match up with what they're talking about, they become invalidated. It doesn't matter. It won't matter. So it's a great idea to just prove it. Prove why they're important. Prove how they help you. So now, when you're evaluating an issue from multiple perspectives, it's incredibly important to use the lens map I was telling you about earlier. With the lens map, you'll have a bunch of lenses: economic, political, historical, economic. I already said economic. You get the gist. You've probably already seen these. But within these perspectives, for example, the economic, you'll probably want to throw in maybe a banker or an accountant or someone that handles money within your issue that it'll affect. And as well, when you talk to these people, how it affects them, how like a solution would benefit them, or maybe, how the issue currently affects them. Sorry. So now that you've done your research, it's time for you to formulate a solution. This, of course, has to be your own solution, and it can't be taken from one of the sources you've used. I know it's very tempting that you could just take a solution off the internet and call it good. That's not how it rolls. That's not how we roll around here. You want to come up with your own solution, not off the top of your head, but with a combination of all the sources you have. So it seems it's way more original, and you'll get a way better score, of course, as it's not plagiarism. So, when you're a part of a team, I know it's incredibly important. No, you gotta know it's incredibly important to hold yourself accountable for mistakes that you make. I know it may seem like you're the only one doing work all the time, but sometimes everybody goes off topic and they'll fool around for a day. And that day turns into another one, and then next. And eventually you're doing a whole week, you're not doing any work. Which sucks for everybody, because you're losing time in this very limited time span you have for this project. So, you may pull someone off topic for a day, but you have to make sure the next day to work twice as hard. Make sure you work twice as hard and get the work done you missed yesterday. Even if you just don't want to. Take it from me, with personal experience on such a topic. Procrastinating everything to the last minute, don't do that. You're going to hate yourself, and it's going to be the worst year of your life. That's it. Hope you guys take this to heart. Bye.